You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
The cost of vehicle ownership is on the rise, and one of the key factors is insurance rates. On today's show, we're once again joined by Tim Jackson, who's the former president and CEO of the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. How long were you with them, Tim? Many years. I mean,
over 18 years. 18
years. So he's going to share his thoughts on the impact on the industry that these rates are having. It's getting crazy out there with insurance. It is one of the factors that's leading the issue with inflation, right, Tim?
It is, and there's inflation is affecting certain aspects of society more than others. And one of those areas in automotive it's affecting is collision repairs.
Yeah.
And I think there's a combination of things that are driving that. One is with all the new electric vehicles, as Hertz found out when they put in 100,000 Tesla EVs into their fleet, that it actually costs more to repair the Teslas than it did a traditional car, a traditional ICE car.
Sure, that makes sense.
And so much so that they downsize their fleet on EVs.
Wow.
So some models, and I've had 4 different EVs, but some models are significantly costlier to repair. So they are significantly costlier to insure.
Sure.
And that's going to drive this, what I would call unaffordability crisis in automotive, and where people are having to keep their, we'd like to have them in a new EV, we'd like to have them in a newer, cleaner car, but they can't afford to be. So that's what part of what's driving that.
What impact is it having in the ownership of in the sales of new and used cars?
Well, I think from a standpoint of the customer experience, ultimately that customer, if they are shopping for insurance before they buy the car, the way I've started doing now, they make the purchase decision maybe based on how costly it is to insure it.
Right.
And again, and part of it, we want cars to be safer, but now they've got all this technology in the windshields, in the bumpers, in the front grille, and the chassis. The crash avoidance warnings, the lane departure warnings, the technology that makes the autopilot work, say on a Tesla, or cruise work on a General Motors product. All of that technology, when that vehicle is in an accident, all of that has to be repaired.
Yep.
It's all single source technology, so they have to go back to the automaker in most cases to get that, and the automakers have to recoup their higher cost of developing it. So
wow.
I think that's what's driving it.
That's incredible. So I don't know where all of this leads with the high cost of a vehicle, just under $50,000 on the new car side, $35,000 or more on the used car side. Gas prices, what they are today, which is pretty crazy, $3.50 a gallon is almost the norm. And now we're looking at insurance rates. It's getting to the point that the average consumer out there, I think the average payment's like $737 a month. You add on maintenance, gas, and now insurance, and you're probably up over $1,000 for that car, right?
Yeah, and it is pricing some of our customers out of the market.
Yeah.
And a while back, and this was just pre-COVID, like 6 weeks pre-COVID, we did a survey in Colorado and to just ask a basic question of what percentage of the population owns or leases a car.
Yeah.
And we wanted to know statewide versus in the metropolitan area. And because it's even more expensive in a metro area because of the higher cost of parking, the higher cost of housing, and so forth.
Yeah.
We were surprised at the time that it was 88% of the respondents statewide said they own or lease a car, which we thought was a pretty high number.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 89%, and 88% even in the city of Denver did. So if you applied that, and if the number was similar, say to Georgia and the city of Atlanta, there wasn't a distinguishable difference. I'm here to tell you, I think if that survey was done today, It's a public opinion poll.
Yeah.
If we did that today, I think it would be a bigger difference.
I agree. I agree. Hey, I don't want to let you get out of here without telling us a little bit about your book, Dude, Where's My Flying Car? I love the name, by the way. And it's already doing phenomenal at Amazon. So we're going to make a link right here for those of you that are watching this to get your own copy of Dude, Where's My Flying Car, written by the one and only Tim Jackson. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Sure. Well, the book, it's about a 14-month project in sincerity. It shouldn't take that long, but it did. It takes a long time once it's written to actually get it published as well.
Sure.
But it is my first book, but I'm very proud of it. It came in at 490 pages, 102,000 words, and 90 chapters.
Wow.
And it's divided up for the past, the present, and the future. So 50 of those chapters are in the past, 11 of them in the present, and the remainder, about 34 or so, in the future. And so it covers all bases. I think it'll be an interesting read for anybody that's interested in cars, or really any type of personal mobility, because there's a bike component in it, there's an aviation component because of the flying cars, and there's a chapter on these adventure vans, and a chapter on RVs, a chapter on motorcycles, a chapter on e-bikes. So there's a little bit in there for everybody, no matter how we want to commute. And I do make the point in the book that the way we commute should be a personal choice. It shouldn't be government telling us we have to commute this way or forcing us to commute this way. And we shouldn't create fights between those that want to cycle to work or those that want to drive to work. Sure. Or need to drive to work. Personal mobility should be a personal choice, and we should all respect everybody else's personal choice.
That's right.
In the way they do that.
That's right.
In my opinion.
And for the $64,000 question, how much would a flying car cost when they're out there?
For those that will be those that you would own, they'll start anywhere from the lowest that I've found, and there's a chapter in the book on the Jetson One jetpack. It comes in at $98,000, and that's there's one that's upwards of $300,000 to $400,000, but it's probably a little better vehicle than the Jetson One jetpack, and but it's still it's a two-person unit. Then they go all the way up to the flying taxi type, or let's say those that would be used for urban air mobility. And I suspect those are going to fall in between 3 to 5 million. Probably not something that the average consumer would be able to buy.
Right.
And they're too big really to land in the driveway and park in the garage. So
yeah.
You'd have to go to a bigger place like a helipad. They call them vertiports, where they will take off.
Vertiports. There's a new term.
Yes.
That's great. And they pretty much all today look like drones, right? I mean, with the 4 different blades that take you up and move you across, right?
Yes, some more so than others.
Okay.
But they look, you go to a new car show and all the cars look somewhat similar.
Yeah.
But you go to a VTOL show, that's a vertical takeoff and landing flying car show, and they are all over the place. No two look alike. So they have a lot more variation, or let's say diversity in the way they're building them, which is fine. There's going to be winners and losers, and probably more losers than winners. This thing will shake out, but it hasn't got to fruition to the shakeout yet.
Well, as I've said to the viewers, get your copy of the book. It's very interesting. I can see why in many categories it's already a #1 bestseller. So Tim Jackson, former president and CEO of the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association, and now an award-winning author. And a good friend of CBT. So thank you so much, Tim, for stopping by, talking about these insurance rates, and congrats on the book.
Yes, and you're actually in the book, Jim, so I'm proud you're in there.
Awesome.
As a top 100 influencer.
Thank you so much. Wow, didn't realize that, but thank you so much. That's quite an honor.
It is a great honor.
Am I 1 or am I 100? Am I?
You're in the top 100. It's alphabetical. So
I love it. Well, thank you. Now I should really buy a book for every viewer then and send it to them.
Yes, I think so. And every staff person.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.